Greetings to our future Spartans and a warm welcome to Salem High School from the School Counseling Department at SHS. To the class of 2025, we would have preferred to have had this meeting in person, but we absolutely look forward to meeting each and every one of you individually, hopefully in the near future. To the parents and families of rising freshmen, as school counselors, we are so excited to work with your student over the next 4 years as we plan out your students' dreams and goals for the future. Whether that be college or military, the workforce, a trade school, community college, or even an apprenticeship program. Whatever they decide to do after Salem High School, counselors are here to help and guide the way. As I begin this presentation, I'd like to make sure I introduce you to several key people at the high school who will assist in your transition. Most of you already know our school principal, Mr. Habib. Ninth graders are also assigned an assistant principal, and that will be Mrs. Nelson. In the school counseling office, we have Mrs. Chitwood, who is our registrar and is in charge of all of our student records. She is so helpful in answering any question you may have and can also assist you with setting up a meeting with your school counselor. Mrs. Mangum, who is also located in the school counseling office, can answer questions on advanced studies topics ranging from AP to IB to dual enrollment at Virginia Western. Next, I would like to introduce you to my team of school counselors. At Salem High School, we organize our caseloads by last names. And this way, we often know your siblings and other family members, and we can provide consistent student services. For students with last names A through E, Mr. Barrett will be your counselor. For students last names F through J, Dr. Snow. My name is Miss Arbogast, and I have students with last names K through Q. And last but not least, for any students with last names R through Z, your school counselor will be Mrs. Parrish. Again, we are a team of school counselors, and if ever your counselor is out, any of us will be happy to help. Several important dates for class registration. So we kick off our scheduling process on January 14th and 15th with the distribution of registration guides. And there will also be an online link on the SHS website to the registration guide as well. On February 1st, your English teacher will assign a Do Now in which you will watch a step-by-step video on how to put your registration request in our Google Doc. It will include screenshots of the actual Google Doc. On the afternoon of February 1st, I will send a copy of the video to both the student and the parent in school messengers so that families can watch it again together. Also included in this email, and extremely important, will be the actual Google form to submit your request. The Google form will be open for 2 weeks, and after it is closed on February 15th, or the student has already submitted their request, to make any additional changes, students or parents will need to email their school counselor. During the months of February, March, and April, school counselors will be working individually with students and their families to finalize schedules and address any individual questions or concerns you might have. In mid to late April, we'll mail a copy of your request home as just another confirmation of your request, especially if something has changed for your situation since the initial requests were submitted. The registration guide is a primary source of information for our students at Salem High School, especially for things like diploma requirements, course selection, and details regarding programs offered at Salem High School. On this page, I've highlighted some important topics with page numbers for freshmen that I typically would go over in more depth, but to save time, I won't go through these individually. But often we get questions like, how do I add or drop a class? As a ninth grader, how do I remain eligible for athletics since all ninth graders are eligible at the start of the year? What's the difference between the standard and advanced diploma? What career and technical education programs are offered at Salem High School? When choosing electives, is there a place where I can go and see only the elective course list? Does Salem High School offer courses that match my career interests? What math choices do I have upon completion of Algebra 2? What are the ways I can achieve college credits for my classes while still in high school? And lastly, where do I find information on how to contact my school counselor if I have a question? On these pages, you will find answers to these questions and more. And school counselors are happy to clarify any of these topics. But again, make sure you note these pages in the registration guide. When we begin choosing classes, there are some helpful guidelines that we recommend. First of all, students, please choose courses that are right for you, not because your friends are taking them. High school is the time to find your path, your passion, your talents, your interests. For English and math, your current English and math teachers at Andrew Lewis Middle School are a great resource, and they can help you by making a recommendation in these areas. For science, be sure you speak with both math and science teachers, since many science courses include math concepts. For history, check your prereqs and recommendations, especially for our AP US History course, as this is one of the most difficult classes we offer here at Salem High School. For world language, remember these are only required for the advanced diploma, and the advanced diploma lines up with the requirements needed to go straight to a four-year college right after high school. For band and choir classes that will require an audition, simply just add concert band or concert choir as a placeholder in your requests. And once you audition and we get those results back, counselors will add the specific class later. For example, jazz band or Salem singers. Again, it's very, very important that you look through the registration guide, especially for course prerequisites. For example, there are certain career tech ed classes that are only offered for specific grade levels. So a freshman may see a class in the registration guide, but it's not available to them in ninth grade, but it's definitely something they can plan on for the future. Another example is a student may have to take a level 1 course before they take a level 2 course. For example, if a student wants to take advanced drawing, then they must first take art foundations. And lastly, just a very important date for scheduling and registration, the last day to make any schedule change for all students is the last Friday in June, and that falls on June 25th. So at Salem High School, we offer so many programs for students to advance in their areas of interest. Salem is also the only high school in the area that offers an IB diploma. For students who are interested in pursuing pre-IB, IB, advanced placement, and dual enrolled courses, we are looking for students with the following qualities: highly motivated, able to self-monitor, pass their SOLs, interested in advancing to higher level courses, a thirst for more in-depth knowledge in a subject area, love to read, and I should add write, want to learn outside of the classroom, and can work independently on assignments. If this sounds like you, students and parents, please mark your calendar. On Tuesday, January 26th at 7 p.m., there will be an advanced studies information Zoom meeting, and more information on that link will be sent out at a later date. To prepare for your class selection on our Google form, we're going to go through each academic area and the choices for ninth graders. Now, the Google form doesn't look like this screen, but again, the instructional video we send home will be a mirror image of that Google form to streamline this process for students. So we'll start with English. And in English, we offer two levels at Salem High School for ninth graders. There's an English 9 and an English 9 pre-IB. The pre-IB indicates a higher level. This means a student choosing pre-IB should have a good handle on writing and reading so that they can work on those higher levels and handle more in-depth material. Please note that with this course, there is also a summer assignment required for the pre-IB level. If students are not sure which level to choose, they should absolutely consult with their current English teacher at Andrew Lewis. In math, we have 4 options, and the students' math classes will depend on their current math placement. Please note that the last 3 all have a prerequisite of Algebra 1. Algebra 2 pre-IB is the more challenging version of Algebra 2 and will move at a much quicker pace. And again, we recommend that you defer to your current math teacher for insight on this choice, and also your parents and your family members who will be encouraging you along the way. For science, most of our ninth graders will take Earth Science, but we also include an option of chemistry pre-IB. Now, this science is recommended for students who are strong in math, students who are interested in pursuing a full IB diploma, or students who just love science. Students must have completed Algebra 1 to take the chemistry pre-IB course. A special note to parents: if a student were to decide to drop this class after the 4 weeks the student is required to stay in any advanced studies course, there is no regular level of chemistry class to drop down to, as our regular chemistry is 11th grade subject. So our students who pursue the full IB diploma or other advanced programs like the Governor's School typically must front load these junior and senior level courses like chemistry in some subject areas in their 9th and 10th grades. And so that's why we offer these options. In order to help these students reach an even more difficult level required for their advanced studies programs later on. In social studies, most of our freshmen will take modern world history, which is the study of history from the Middle Ages to the present day. Again, for any of our students who might be interested in pursuing a full IB diploma, or students who have not only a love for history, but are strong English students, we offer AP US Virginia History. Now, this course is considered college level and can be dual enrolled through Virginia Western. However, students must meet the placement criteria, and this year that is a 3.0 GPA and a pass on the Algebra 1 SOL in order to dual enroll this course. This course contains a rigorous standardized curriculum set by the College Board, who puts out the SAT test, and in order to prepare these students for the AP exam, the assignments in this course are steady. Due to the material that must be covered for this exam and to prepare students to do well on this exam, a student considering AP US History should be an avid reader, and they should be able to write and answer questions in an essay format, which is included on this AP test. And they should be able to keep up with the pace of daily assignments and daily study time. Also, a pass advanced on a previous SOL, English SOL that is also a good predictor of success in this class. And another note to parents: AP US and Virginia History, like chemistry pre-IB course, if a student were to decide to drop this course after 4 weeks, there is no regular level because our US History is an 11th grade course. In health and PE, students for both the standard and advanced diploma are required to have 2 credits in both PE and health. Often our students from Andrew Lewis come in with 1 health and 1 PE. And so at Salem High School, they will pick up the 2nd health and the 2nd PE class at the high school. These are all semester classes. Please note our new choices for the 2nd PE are either lifetime fitness or rhythmic movements, which is dance. This is slightly different than in the past. If we have a freshman that comes in who's already completed both health courses at Andrew Lewis and one of their PEs, then they would only have to take the 2nd PE, which would be a half a credit. In this case, this would free up another spot for an elective. If a student failed the 1st PE or health, they will need to repeat this course at the high school, since these are required classes to graduate. For world language, this area is only required for our advanced diploma. And remember, the advanced diploma is lined up with a college-bound track. If a student started a language at Andrew Lewis Middle School, they would continue on into the 2nd level of the language. And we offer Chinese, French, German, and Spanish. If a student has not started a world language and would like to pursue the advanced diploma, they would choose a level 1 language, and they would also include an alternate or second choice language. If a student is undecided about language and wants to wait until 10th grade, once they have acclimated to the high school, the student can still complete the 3 years required for the advanced diploma in the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade years. But please note, there is also a 2+2 option to satisfy the world language requirement, meaning they can take 2 years of one language and 2 years of another. And if this is the option the student wants, they would need to start their language in 9th grade if they hadn't already. Again, before we move on, if in any of these academic areas, parents and students, you have individual questions, please consult your school counselor. And again, we are happy to give you more detailed answers. For elective selection, I want to emphasize the importance of, again, checking the registration guide. Many of our electives have prerequisites. I spoke about grade levels and first level classes previously in another slide, but there are also things like auditions or applications. For example, to get into photojournalism, which is a yearbook course, you must complete an application. Also for electives, take note in the registration guide of the 0.5 or the 1.0 credit designation beside each elective, as this will be beneficial when you figure out how many electives you have room for in your schedule. Students, please choose your alternates carefully. Often your alternate does end up in your schedule because your academics get scheduled first and your electives chosen may not work with those academics in the schedule. I would also like to mention Econ and Personal Finance briefly. This is a required CTE elective for both diplomas. However, it is a course that is more applicable to real life after graduation financial scenarios. But we do have freshmen who will choose this as a full year elective or an alternate elective course. So, your final step is to review your requests before you submit your Google form. As a general rule, your main goal is to have 7 credits and to include core academic subjects, your PE and health if needed, your foreign language if you want to pursue the advanced diploma, and include enough electives to complete the 7-period day and provide alternates for any electives chosen. In this sample registration, this student has an English, a math, a science, a social studies, and that equals 4 credits. They've added a first year foreign language for the advanced diploma, which makes 5 credits. They need a second year of health and PE, which are both half credit semester classes, and this brings their total to 6 credits. So this student has room for either 2 half credit semester classes or 1 credit year-long class to bring their total to 7 credits. And that's why I emphasized in the registration guide, please note the 0.5 or the 1.0 beside your elective choices. So in this case, to fill that 1 credit spot left, the student chose 2 semester half credit courses with welding and comparative religion. If a counselor was checking this registration, we would say it looks great because the student has 7 total credits. They have provided us an alternate for their first year world language, which is listed at the bottom, French 1. They've also included 3 other alternate electives, which is fantastic because we want at least 1 alternate elective for every elective that is in their schedule. And actually, students, the more alternates a student provides, the better in case there is a conflict in your request. And a conflict, again, means 2 courses are offered at the same time, which prevents you from having both in your schedule. One exception to the 7 credit rule I would like to point out, I've indicated at the top of this slide that students with marching band will have 7.5 credits in their schedule because marching band earns a half a credit, but it is not located in the school day. It takes place after school. And so those students need to schedule for 7.5 credits total. Just to recap, on February 1st, All students for all grade levels will have an assigned due now in English. They will be watching our instructional video, which will include actual screenshots from our Google form, and they will be entering their schedule request by category: English, science, social studies, math, and so forth. Parents and students will receive an email that day with both the video and the Google form, and that way they can work on those together if so desired. And on February 15th, we will close this Google form. During the months of February, March, and April, students will finalize schedules with their counselor. And in mid to late April, we will provide a printed copy mailed home for a second confirmation of the student's request. And then again, the important date, Friday, June 25th, is the last day to make any changes. Now, please note one addendum to that February 15th Google form close date. That's our goal for requests to be done. A student can submit their form prior to the February 15th date. In closing, I just appreciate your time and attention in listening to this long video. And obviously, I haven't covered all the details that you will need to know moving forward in this process. But we are here ready to assist you. And on behalf of the SHS School Counseling Department, I would just like to say welcome to the SHS class of 2025. We look forward to meeting you very soon.